Hey everyone, Coach Brenda Kelly here, coming to you to talk today. I want to talk about something that recently happened with me over the past week. And I want to share it with you. And you may say, well, is this health related? And to me, I say yes, because I want to talk about peace, having peace. And that is something that is important that you have in your health, in your wellness, is to have a peace of mind. So I want to talk a little bit about grief. Grief. And there's a lot of people that are going through grief, sadness right now, especially over the last 2 to 3 years, people that have lost loved ones, that have lost close friends, family members, and everybody is dealing with it in a different way. Some people can manage. I always think about, if someone tells you get over it or you should be over it by now, they've never experienced a deep loss in their lives. It's easy for someone to say if they've never experienced it. But I want to talk about grief, because grief is a part of life. And I did make some notes tonight, so you may see me look off because I didn't want to miss anything. So there's many losses. There's many people that are going through loss right now. A lot of people, they don't want to deal with it. Myself, I'll just share a little bit of my story. I lost my son 2 years ago to sickle cell disease. He was 39 years old. And, people sometimes feel like you should be past it by now. You should be doing better. You shouldn't be struggling with it. And so a lot of people that deal with grief keep it in, and they don't talk to anybody about it, because people are thinking that you should be good now. But everyone is different, and everyone deals with grief differently. Now, as the years go on, I wouldn't say you should be over it, but I would say if you are still continuing to have the grief as if it happened yesterday, you should get some help with it. You should talk to someone about it, because sometimes we're not processing it right. But everyone is different, and we don't have a timeline on when that grief should be over. I didn't realize the extent of how I was grieving or what I was dealing with until I went away on this trip. I hadn't been away in about 2 or 3 years, hadn't been many places except for pretty much at home, work, church, and I hadn't done a lot. I hadn't traveled. So I went to Arizona last week, and I spent about 3, 4 days, really from Wednesday to Saturday, and I had one agenda. I had one thing that I thought I was going to be going and doing a lot of, one thing, but it turned out to be something that God had planned. We went up to the mountains. I had 2 other girlfriends that met me in Arizona, and we went up to the mountains. We just did different things every day. We didn't have an agenda. We had just time to just really connect. We had devotions every morning. We did smoothies every day, and salads, and we just, we rented an Airbnb, and it was just wonderful. I did things that I normally don't do. I'm not a country girl, so normally I don't climb mountains. I'm not a sports girl, so I never climbed mountains. I never did anything that made me sweat. So when I went with them, they were like, come on, Brenda, come on. And they were talking about mountain lions and cats, bobcats, and all of these things. And everybody that knows me know that I'm terrified of cats. So I was like, what am I getting myself into? But I did it. I went out. We went out. We climbed the mountain. We went into the water and got in the water and walked on rocks and all of the stuff that Brenda doesn't normally do. But it was so cleansing for me. It was just refreshing. And I didn't realize how much I had gone in, like as far as my own, just my thoughts, everything. I didn't realize how much it was pulling me in until I went on this trip. Let me see. I'm just thinking about what we did. Like I said, I did not realize how much I was going in. But I tell you, these two ladies, these sister friends that I call them, they ministered to me as well as I ministered to them. So we did not plan it this way, but God orchestrated everything. We had one plan, but God had another plan. But I just wanted to let you know, if you are going through, if you are dealing with sadness, if you are dealing with a loss, and it doesn't have to be a loss of a loved one. It could be a divorce. I've been there too. It could be, and you're going through a divorce and you don't know what to do, and you feel like, how can I make it? How can I go through this? How can I really handle what I'm dealing with? You can make it. You can make it. And when I lost my son was 39 years old. The first thing that God spoke to me is that we cannot sit here as if we have no hope. We have hope, and it's in Him. And so if you're going through grief, if you're going through divorce, I just want you to know that you have hope. If you've lost someone dear to you, there is hope. There is life after whatever you're dealing with. So I'm going to give you just a few things that I know have helped me in the process, dealing with the grief and dealing with the sadness. I'll show you. This is my son, and me and my son here when he was little. That's him the year before he passed. And these are just some pictures of us that we had. And it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. It's not something that any mother wants to go through or, live through, burying their child. But with God, all things are possible. There's a scripture that I want to read in Psalm 34:17, and it says, when His people pray for help, He listens and rescues them from their troubles. The Lord is there to rescue all who are discouraged and have given up hope. When His people pray for help, He listens and He rescues. So when you go to Him and when you pray, God listens and He helps. He helps you. So number one, how do you get through going through divorce or going through grief of losing a loved one? How do you get through? Number one is give it to God. Surrender it all to Him. Surrender it all to Him. Because remember, the scripture says He listens and He helps us. So we have to give it to Him. We have to say, Lord, okay, I know what has happened. I see what has happened, and I know that you're working this out for my good. In the long run, He is working it out for your good. Number two, you have to learn to lean on friends and family. Learn to lean on others. Don't isolate. That's number 3. Don't isolate yourself. When you isolate yourself, it really takes you into where you feel like there is no hope. Don't isolate yourself. Number 4, one of my favorites is music. I listen to music. Music calms me. Music keeps me in a place of rest. So I listen to music. Number 5 would be to pray. Prayer and the word, getting into the word, letting the word minister to you. Just sitting still and letting God minister to you. And then number 6 is helping others, looking for ways that you can help others. Isaiah 48:10 says, the Lord refines us in the furnace of suffering. We are broken down and he builds us back up into who we are meant to be. So when we help others, when we do for other people, when we look for avenues that we can help someone else, it helps to build us up. It helps where we're broken down. God builds us back up. And then number 7, learn that it's okay not to be okay. There are going to be times when you're not okay. When, it comes to your mind, learn to process it and trust God and let it go. Process and let it go. But learn that it's okay, that it's not always going to be where you're up and you're managing through it. Some days are going to be worse than others. I recently I had gone to get my hair done, and on the way home I felt like I need to go to the cemetery. So I went, and that was my first time really seeing my son's marker, because it took a while to get here. And I went there, and I just felt that I needed to go. And I had my time, and I was okay after that. You have to learn that it's not going to always be easy, and it's not going to always be where you're, in a high place. You're going to have those days, but know that God is with you always. So I just wanted to share that and encourage you to stay in the fight and don't isolate. Don't isolate yourself. Try to make that one of your habits, is really getting out, is connecting with people, doing something that you've never done, like I did, climbing that mountain and going and stepping on rocks in the water. We rode a trolley. I mean, that really helped me to deal with some things that I was going through, and it made a difference, that trip for me. So you can make it, you can do it, you can get through this with God's help. And I just wanted to share that with you today. Also, I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your encouragement to keep going. This is all about lifestyle. This is all about health, and grieving and keeping your peace is a part of wellness. It's a part of it, because if you can't deal with the struggle, if you can't get through these times, you will get into a depression. And God does not want us to be in a depression. He wants us to be well. So I wanted to come and just share that with you, share my heart on that, and just say thank you to my friends. When I went to Arizona, it was so wonderful. Not only did we do that, but I had the opportunity to spend with the family of one of my friends who hosted everything. And it was wonderful. We did salsa dancing, we did tacos, and it was such a wonderful time. So I want to say thank you to Bess for that, and the Blanco family. And just say thank you to you for always being there and always being a part of this wonderful, wonderful page, Thrive with Brenda Kay. And I just wanted to say thank you to you for coming on and being a part of my channel, Thrive with Brenda Kay, and encourage you to share, like, and subscribe. If you have not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will be back with you again to share more health information and wellness tips. Take care.